Hello everyone and welcome back to Callsign Charlie Models. It is time for the final review of the Revell 148 scale B-1B. I did not post the last video of the oil weathering and everything because I just was not happy with the way that the oil weathering came out. It's a little bit overdone in my opinion, and I just was not going to put out a video showing some bad techniques or not good results on that. So I decided to skip that video, and honestly, I was on the verge of not even posting this video, but I do need to close this chapter of the build out. So I'm going to go ahead and post this final review. I am not happy with it. It doesn't live up to my standard of builds, but to each their own. And I have four tiers of builds. I have a tier 1 build, which is a show ready build, which I am comfortable with taking to a show and comfortable with showing it to the public in person, and kind of, you know, I don't go to shows expecting awards, but if I get something for one of those, I'm happy with it. I have a tier 2 build, which is a build that I'm comfortable with to a point, but there are some errors in it, not glaring errors, but it's something that I would take to, say, my club meeting and do a show and tell with it. Then a tier 3 is a build that is just going to stay in my house. It's not going to go anywhere. I am not really too happy with it. So this is what this build is. And then I have a tier 4, which is basically a trash build where it goes straight into the trash. And with this one, it got really close to being a tier 4 during the final assembly because it just was not working for me. One of the issues that I've had is because this build has been so long in the making. This build has been for 4 years. It got shelved for 2.5 years while I was waiting for some aftermarket sets to come out, and during that time it just kind of got collected dust and everything. I forgot where it was, and then when it got back on the bench, I was doing the Squirrel Blitz where I was doing 7 builds at the same time. And lesson learned from that is I will never ever do that again. I will only do 2 builds max at one time because my focus got too spread thin on that, and I need my focus to be 100% on the kits I'm doing. And yeah, so this was definitely a major learning curve for me on what to do and what not to do. And yeah, I'm just not happy with it. And we're going to go down to the photo booth. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Kind of on camera it's going to look a lot better than what it actually is in person. It's one of those 3 or 4 foot models where it looks great from 3 or 4 feet away, but when you start getting close, that's when the issues start to come up. So, and then at the end of the video I'll also post some pictures of some of the areas that I am happy with, like the res kit engines and intakes. I'm happy with those. The bomb bays, I'm happy with those. With the nose landing gear, that ended up being an issue because it was gone or set aside for so long. In between going back and forth with the Squirrel Blitz, a lot of the pieces got broken, and those little pieces that broke off, they got lost. I don't know where those were, and that ended up causing a major headache during the nose landing gear assembly, and I'm not very confident in the strength of the nose landing gear now. But we're going to go down to the photo booth. You're going to get to see it on the turntable, and like I said, I have some other photos to post at the end, so I'm going to see you guys in 1 second. Alright, so here we are down at the photo booth, taking a final look at everything that's going on with this kit. And yeah, from here it looks pretty good. I'm kind of happy from a distance. I'm happy with the multi-shaded panels and everything. Where the issues start to come out is with the oil weathering, the streaking. I just did not do a very good job on that. So lesson learned on that. I need to take a little bit more time on the oil streaking if I'm going to do that. Everything else looks pretty good. The engines, the exhaust cans, I am really happy with the way that those turned out. With the the white suit coming out the back end. I used the off-white from Abtalung Oils to work that in. And yeah, so we went over all the painting process. The other issue that I had with this kit was cutting off the area for the wing glove area right here. I didn't cut it correctly. It doesn't look right in person, and actually when you do it you can actually see far back into the inside, and I didn't do any scratch building for the inside there, so that's just kind of a blank canvas on that. When I was doing the test fitting during the construction, I thought that I was going to be able to close everything up and you wouldn't be able to see anything, but you can. And now moving at ground level, you can kind of see a little bit more. I'm going to put some pictures at the end of the video that shows off the engine detail and everything going on with the mirrors to really show that off, because that is one of the sections I am actually happy with on this build. On this kit, I used the Army Cast flap and slat set. The flaps went on pretty easily. It was just trying to get that H groove into it and get that slotted in. Once you got it slotted in, they slid right in with no issues. The slats, on the other hand, there was an issue. They weren't quite long enough, or they didn't match up 100% correctly, so I had to take some finagling to get that to work. And then also with the spoilers, just getting those in. When I was doing that, it was pretty much at the very end of the build. Those were actually the last parts of the build I put on, and I wasn't going to have those put up, and I'm really glad I didn't do all the diorama work, because this is not going to be a diorama build. You can see here some pictures from the build, the intake covers, the exhaust right there, and you can see the fuel tank and some of the engine. And then another picture of the engine right here. A couple more pictures. I'm really happy. I'm really glad they gave that option for the nacelles for this, because it really does set this kit aside. And the nose landing gear, you can see a couple of the pieces that are missing. The bomb bay right there. Another picture of the bomb bay. And that's pretty much going to be it for this one. I am glad it's finally over. So that's going to be it. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, hit the bell button for notifications of when I post future videos. And until next time, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.